We're back here with Duncan from Scuf Gaming, and he's going to give us a little walkthrough of some of his products. Duncan.
Okay, hi, how you doing?
Take it away, good.
Great, yeah. So, what do you want to know? Just a little bit about the controller?
A little bit about the controller. I have an Xbox controller at home.
Okay.
And if I were to bring my controller to you, what would you do to it?
Okay, well there's a couple of things you can do. Firstly, you can send in your own. That's called Scuf service. And that's where you send in your own and we'll scuff it up. That's the cost-effective way of doing it, because some gamers we appreciate can't afford to spend 60, 70, 80 pound for a controller. So that's 34 pounds that starts at.
Nice.
But most people buy a Scuf gaming controller from scratch. So we actually scuff up and make the paddles and the adjustable hair triggers and all different features of Scuf controller onto a brand new controller. We start with a very basic Scuf, which is just what we call the FPS competition. Has the normal design of an Xbox 360 controller, the paddles, the triggers, and everything else. But we'll move on to something a little bit more advanced with the coloured buttons here. And one of the features we have is the triggers here. And these are called, if you see these moving, yeah? These are called the adjustable hair triggers. And by moving the sensitivity of these, then that allows you to reduce the reaction time when you're pressing the trigger. Adding the trigger stops. And these are the things that actually stop the movement. So we actually go in one stage further. But this time, the trigger's now a lot closer, yeah? So the movement is even less, yeah? So a combination of those two things mean that you've got the sensitivity of the trigger reduced, you've got the latency reduced also by the trigger stop. So we've got the Scuf gaming paddles here. These mirror to any of the front buttons. So for instance, most people would choose A and B for the paddles. So the left paddle would be A, right paddle would be B, and that would be jump and knife in Call of Duty. In Battlefield or Halo, you'd use XB for Halo typically. In Battlefield, depending on which, if you're a pilot or whatever, you might use start button. You choose. So the idea is, like I said at golf clubs, you choose, do you want it to be A, B, X, Y, D-pad left, right, up, down, thumbsticks down, anything you want. We just want to customize everything so an individual can have a controller for their own preference. So these are Scuf dome sticks. They're actually slightly taller than traditional dome sticks off PS3, or obviously different to every Xbox controller which has normal concave sticks. The idea of these, they give you more ability to aim because they're longer and they're also more grippy. So a lot of people we find in the FPS world will use the right dome stick, but we're finding increasingly a number of people who are using double domed. And the reason they like double domed is it feels more like the sticks from a PS3, but you've still got the functional and ergonomic benefits of an Xbox controller. Then we've got the PS3 one. So this is something we released more recently. It's a new design we've got. It's called the Radioactive Zombie. This actually glows in the dark. So if you put this up, it would glow up in the dark. On here we've got two features. This is a pointer. So we've got the triggers here. These are hypersensitive triggers, yeah? And they're actually hypersensitive because you only have to touch them a little bit and they move and react, as opposed to normal triggers that you have to move them about 30 degrees. Then we've got the paddles on the back. So similar things. We've got Scuf grip. Again, on the back of the controller, we apply military grade grip, used same as on weaponry. And the idea of this is to grip your hands, because when you're playing on the normal plastic, it does slip. This stuff here, it's just got that little bit of extra grip, and it's all natural, it's incorporated into the controller, so it's not like adding an extra surface or something that's going to make it more bulky. Then the final thing, we've actually added a function here, which is actually, this is a Microsoft D-pad. So this is a new D-pad that they released a while back. It's only available on 360 wireless controllers, but we actually take apart a wireless and a wired one to create the same effect on the wired one for pro gamers. Again, the functional benefits of this is you just got rotating D-pad. Nice. Optional, and this is only on the glow of the dark Radioactive Zombie at the moment, but it will come on other designs later. So apart from that, I mean, that's basically a bit about it. You can see what we got. Usual stuff. You know, new designs always coming out, new features. We've got a lot of new things coming up in the next 1 to 2 months that I think will excite the community. And that's it.
Thank you very much, Duncan.